So there we were, myself, Toni, Aleks and Olli, in the middle of what was then Macedonia, loading our guitars and our cymbals into the booth and everything else onto the roof of the Lada. And with some money from the Ministry of Culture in Macedonia, we were touring Macedonia, top to bottom, east to west. We were a 2-guitar, 2-drum band. I was on guitar. A great guy called Toni Kitanovski, great friend of mine and a brilliant guitarist. Guitar. There was Aleks Sekhulovski, brilliant friend of mine. Drums, great drummer, great guy. And Olli Duev, drums. So we would play kind of pop, rock, jazz, and even put the guitars on the ground a la AMM, Pink Floyd and Radiohead, and do electronics and electronica. We played in pubs, clubs, galleries, record shops, restaurants, art galleries. We even played in an amphitheatre, art centres, and we played in a communist edifice of an art gallery, a major art museum actually, on the mountain that overlooks Skopje. So from where you're playing, you have a panoramic view down onto Skopje. It's absolutely amazing. Basically, when we did, when we got back from Bitola in the and Ohrid, these were places in the south of Macedonia. So when we finished there and we drove all the way back to complete some shows in Skopje, basically Olli had eaten, drank and smoked his money. So, and his wife was actually waiting at the half door for him when he got out of the car. So quickly, myself, Toni and Aleks dug into our pockets and said, Olli, you better take this and give it to your wife so we can see it for the last couple of gigs. And so anyway, after one of the last gigs that we had to play, there was like the four of us, and there was like, maybe 6 or 7 other hangers on, and we were walking around the centre of Skopje. And you have to remember that like Macedonia had just emerged from Yugoslavia and communism, because Macedonia was a constituent part of Yugoslavia, and it was still pretty much Yugoslavia. Cheap drink, cheap cigarettes. So that was the panacea. Everyone was happy because everyone was able to smoke and drink to their heart's content. So we were walking through the centre of Skopje, and basically I was like, I don't believe this. So I summoned everybody over and we went to a record shop, and in the middle of the window of the record shop, what was there? An LP of Johnny Logan. And as soon as I showed it to the lads, everybody started singing, absolutely the loudest they could, What's Another Year. So we were walking through the centre of Skopje at 1 o'clock in the morning, arms around the shoulders, 11 or 12 of us, at the top of our voices singing What's Another Year. And I said, lads, we better keep it down, the cops will come. And they were like, man, if the cops come, they'll sing along. Everybody in Macedonia loves Johnny Logan. And so it was absolutely surreal, fantastic. And we also did a recording. We recorded an album. I don't know if it ever has seen the light of day, but it was on the border with Kosovo. So this guy came, it was amazing. This guy came in a Range Rover, Land Rover, and drove us around the highway, the back roads of northern Macedonia, right up to the Kosovan border. And this guy, who had come back from America, made his kind of millions in America, he built a recording studio in the middle of nowhere, and we actually recorded this album, which was fantastic. But the, you know, ride in the Land Rover to the cusp of the Kosovan border, literally, like, you're like, you know, less than a minute walk away from Kosovo. It's absolutely magic, and the recording itself was absolutely fantastic wherever it is. But I have to say, like, that Toni was a fabulous guy. Toni Kitanovski, fantastic guitar player, fantastic guy, and a brilliant friend. You know, great guy. And Alexander Sekhulovski on drums, great friend of mine and a great guy. And Olli Duev on drums. And the brilliant thing about Olli couldn't speak English, but he could sing What's Another Year. It was unbelievable. So when it was amazing. He was kind of a bit drunk and everybody stopped singing and he kept singing. And it was absolutely fantastic. So Macedonia. Absolutely magic. Thank you very much for listening.